Hello, nonfiction and STEM fans. This is Kirsten Larson, author of Woodwire Wings, and coming in September, A True Wonder, illustrated by Katie Wu. And today I am talking about Jump at the Sun, the true life tale of unstoppable story catcher Zora Neal Hurston. This book is written by Alice D. Williams, who is a Newbery honoree, and illustrated by Jacqueline Alcantara. And I actually recently listened to Jacqueline talk a little bit about her illustration process for this book, which made reading it even more of a delight. So if you're not familiar with Zora Neal Hurston, she was a famous folklorist and author. Dust Tracks on a Road, I remember reading that in college. And I love how Alice D. Williams talks about from the very beginning, Zora was a collector of stories. And so she talks about how she grew up with some of these tales of like Brer Rabbit. And the cool thing is that Jacqueline Alcantara and Brer Fox, right? And Jacqueline Alcantara incorporates that imagery throughout the book. And the cool thing is, in a lot of the pictures, you'll see some of the stories that she's collecting kind of taking place in separate panels. But we learn very early on that Zora is a story catcher, and there's a really poignant phrase that her mother says. The truth was, Mama approved of Zora's storytelling when Zora herself started telling stories. She didn't fancy the idea of her children tilling land, so she encouraged Zora to jump at the sun. You might not land on the sun, but at least you'd get off the ground. And so throughout this whole story, Alice Williams tracks Zora's process jumping, and she uses that as an ongoing refrain every time she takes a significant leap in her life to try something new that's potentially difficult. So for example, she lies about her age so she can go back and finish school. She says she's 16 instead of 26. And it says, the sun waited patiently for 2 more years until she graduated, then called out, "Jump, Zora." So also the sun is kind of personified and speaking to Zora throughout this book. So really, it's just a fantastic read on so many levels. From the repetition and the themes going through the book, also kind of the call outs and the illustrations, you know, where we see she's collecting all kinds of stories. So really, this is just such a magnificent book. I really recommend it. Jump at the Sun, The True Life of Unstoppable Story Catcher Zora Neal Hurston by Alice D. Williams, illustrated by Jacqueline Alcantara.